This playthrough is rated M for mature.
How far will a scientist blacken her soul to further her pursuits and scientific endeavors? Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of Shadowrun Hong Kong. In the last episode, we talked to everyone about the last mission and their thoughts on it. And now we do another job for an old man who's got there's a cure hiding away down here. So we're going to get it for him and hopefully not get infected ourselves, right? Anyway, we got a room here with some people here to fight, so we can move just a little bit further. I think there's like 3 people in a drone in the initial area. Yeah, a conjurer, an enforcer, and an assassin. I believe these 2 guys have arms and grenades. Or at least the enforcer for sure. I'm not sure on the assassin, but they have grenades. So, alright, let's go into combat mode. I believe if I get into cover around here, they'll notice me, so I can get pretty close. At least about right. At least about to right here, I think. Okay, yeah, I can get about there before they activate. So, let's move everyone as close as we can. No. Come on, move me there. Yeah, sometimes the game is still tricky. They never fix the problem where if you have like an area right there and if a model's too high, it'll highlight the model instead of that spot you want, or it won't flicker back and forth between the 2. Okay. We would definitely want Duncan together because of the whole grenade thing, so. And there's a ley line here, so let's end the turn. Let's do some boosting. Say haste on me. And then we'll do aim on me so I can hit multiple people with that. And we'll hit you with an aim on Duncan. Alright, I think we're good. Okay, we'll end that turn. And then as soon as they get and activate, they'll go into cover. So you want to get at least a good first shot on someone before. I wonder if I can get a. Nah, I want her to be with the group, so let's have you burst fire just to be well. Let's take out the enforcer, or hit the enforcer. Okay, that's a good free shot because as soon as they go into combat, they immediately move into cover. So, all right, let's move there. Oh, nice. I like it. Oh! Alright, he's dead. Alright, let's get Duncan in next to me, just because of the whole grenade situation. Can I bean shot you? That's fine up. Yeah. That's a pretty low percentage, so. Okay, we'll just move everyone close together. Like I said, I want to do this for the grenade spot purposes. So. All right, you want to throw any? Does the assassin want to throw some grenade? Oh yeah, there's a drone there. I forgot to mention that. So. Okay, and the scientists are going to run away. Get out of here. Go on. Alright, let's see. Let's hit you with the chain or lightning. Fireball. Nice. Getting really lucky on that, so hit you with a life drain so we can heal ourselves a bit. And then yeah, unfortunately being on. I probably should have used a turn to have Gobbet knock him out of cover. So that way we can blast him with our full effects. There we go. Alright, the robot, and luckily he doesn't have 99% you missed? Seriously? I mean, I still did damage, but really? Wow, this is going to be one of those. Oh, I killed a couple of the scientists. It doesn't matter if you kill them, by the way. You don't lose any karma or anything like that for it. You hear a telecom begin to ring near the cryo tanks. Well, let's answer it, shall we? Hello? Avon calling? The telecom blinks to life and a woman's face appears on the screen. The HUD below the image identifies herself as Dr. Janet Tang. Below her name, the words Gamma 4 Pathogen Hot Lab appear in bold red print. It's difficult to make out the woman's features behind both the telecom screen and her hazmat mask, but her eyebrows are knit together in an angry line. She taps on the receiver. Hello, can anyone hear me? She leans in towards the screen, squinting. Much of her face is covered, but her clear complexion tells you that she's probably young, in her late 20s maybe. Her mouth and jaw are hidden behind a rebreather, but you can hear the frown in her voice. All this damned racket is making it hard to hear anything. I've got alarms are blaring from every corner of my lab. I don't know what you're doing over there, but it's impossible for us to work under these conditions. Her voice gets louder, angrier. I swear if this is another impromptu drill, do you know how much progress I made on HN 539? Do you? Almost none. I'm barely a quarter of the way into this thing, if that, and I've got a deadline to meet. Everything's fine over here, Doctor. Probably just another security drill. Trying to do a Star Wars, huh? I swear if those meatheads at Base 11 ever want this antimicrobial finished, I'm gonna need... She recoils with a start and then leans in, blinking. Hey, you're not security. An antimicrobial, huh? I think I know where I'm heading next. The doctor's face is noticeably pale. She points a shaky finger at the screen. You stay away from my lab. You have no idea what we've got stored in here. If you've come in here all guns blazing, you could even release enough deadly pathogens to kill everyone in this lab several times over. Gobbett's eyes dart back and forth between you and the screen. I think she's getting suspicious. The doctor blinks as if trying to confirm what she's seeing and turns to look at something behind her. When she turns back to the screen, her expression is stem. I don't know what you're doing here, but you better stay where you are. The sincerity in her words is undercut by the tremor in her voice. Gobbett raises one hand to her mouth and makes a crackling noise akin to radio static. Between breaths, she's speaking loud, muffled words into her hand. Sorry, you're cutting. Must be something wrong with the connection. Can't hear you. I'm warning you, things will get ugly fast if you try to leave the sector you're in. You see her hand tremble as she slaps the receiver. The telecom screen crackles and goes black. No use. We're losing you. When Gobbett realizes that the transmission is over, she lowers her hand and studies the HUD. She looks hopefully at you. Think she bought it? Oh yeah, definitely. With a toothy grin, she holds up a thumb and gives you a wink. Professionals. You can also try to pretend to be security, and she's like, you're not security. But anyway. Alright. So let's check out this cryo tank. A frozen metahuman lies within the cyber tank, awaiting surgery. Oh yeah, in the last episode we found out that this group was basically making sleeper agents by putting unknown cyber tech into people and activating them at certain points so they can get access to certain corporations' intel, corporate espionage and all that fun stuff. So, yeah, let's grab this key card in this dead body. Hey, kids, want to see a dead body? Yeah, let's read this search terminal. The research station is unlocked, ready for perusal. Undersea Research Laboratory, Namazu, Game of 4 Annex, Cyberware, Implantation Clinic, Mail Server Forums. 1. Timeline on Special Project. 2. Items missing from Weapons Locker. Select the first message. How close are we on the Special Project, Chang? I need that subject in field testing by the end of the week. Central is breathing down my neck to get results, and I'm not going to let us slow down on my end, get you demoted. Kind of reminds me of those old buddy cop movies where it's like, you guys are reckless. The mayor's on my ass. That type of thing. There's only so fast I can move in a guy. Writing the persona that you specified will take a minimum of 4 days. We could do it faster if you lend us more people, but no. You wanted this kept to the core team. Give me some help from the Cybernetics firmware team, and we should be able to move closer to your proposed timeline. Okay, Chang, you win. You can have Dang and his 2 assistants. Dang, I want you to help Chang out with whatever he needs. This is a red ball. The end of the physical quarters coming up. I will not have another bad review. Oh, I'm sorry. Poor bad review. Got it. We'll shift priorities immediately. Winston. Alright, second message. Okay, people, we've had to change the code for the weapons locker again. Our security drone kept crashing whenever someone input the previous code. QA has managed to track the problem down in an Easter egg that somebody wrote into their object recognition code. I guess the 1337 has some significance to some joker on the engineering team. Ha. Given this new information, you changed the code to 4077. Hope this will resolve our random drone crashes. Perhaps. Yes, people are jokesters even in the future. With those type of jokes. Alright, let's check this terminal. Alright, it's unmanned, ready for input. Same designation, except it's biosafety level 4 and 2 cyberware packages. First one. Dang, make sure Subject 91 gets moved to one of the hot labs, minimum biosafety level 4. Once we're done with him in there, we'll need to move him out in a cryo tank and he's back on land. Nobody opens the container unless they want to be confined to cold storage themselves. Are you sure? We spent a lot of time and money implanting experimental cyberware into those test subjects. You infected with anything from a BC SL4 lab, and their life expectancy drops to a week or 2 tops. On that note, Where's the subject going on the surface? Do we have a containment team standing by? Is security in place to prevent an accidental breach? Let me worry about all that. You'll be covered if anything goes wrong. We're just conducting an unusual field test, that's all. Nothing for you to lose sleep over. Everything's fine here. How are you? Duncan groans. Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? Isn't that usually how it is in movies where as soon as someone says that, it goes wrong? Yeah. Anyway, second one. Okay, Wang. Since you're on the new project, you probably aren't aware of the various suites we've been installing into the test subjects. Buckle in and pay attention. I'm going to give you the basic rundown. Reaper. The Reaper suite and chips are designed for heavily enhanced combat models. They've been given a variety of implanted weapons, musculoskeletal enhancements, and an assortment of bodywear packages to enhance their close combat capabilities. Their persona-fixed chips keeps them docile and ensconced in whatever fancy life we cooked up for them until we flip the switch. When that happens, all hell breaks loose. Reaper carriers are designated to work as distractions, saboteurs, and etc. There's no good as assassins because the methods we use to override the amygdala prevent them from recognizing specific targets. The only reason I'm aware of that is because, well, I mean, other than basic biology, I'm aware of that because of like games like Bloodborne or whatever. Prevent them from recognizing specific targets. They can discern between friend and foe, but that's about it. They won't seek out a designated target over any other given hostile. Dreamer. Dreamers. The Dreamer package was designed for deep cover operatives. First, we take the test subject with specifically similar background or projected target identity. Then we read their memories using an assist biofeedback system and program a chip for their new life and habits. The cyberware includes a number of neural shunts, data filters, and mnemonic locks to make certain their subconscious espionage activities aren't remembered. Ghost. Last is the Ghost program, the assassination suite. The goal with this package is simple: maximum infiltration, maximum lethality. They've got vocal modulation, retinal duplication, a slew of close combat skillwares, and whatever other spyware we can cram in. They get close to target and wait for activation. When they've been activated, they do whatever they need to get within proximity of their target, and that's when the cranial bomb detonates. Jesus, let's hope that they have a contingency plan, or that none of these guys blow up. Not that we're going to counter these guys, right? Anyway, let's check this. Surgical suite. A cyberware implantation suite, prepped and ready for the patient. Ooh. And let's check this research terminal. Alright. Monitor glows brightly, awaiting for your input. Same designation, except it's got custom requests, Silver Dream resources, and medical closet access. First one. Kendrick, I need a favor from you. I need you to get me one of those non-Reaper subjects from Project Silver Dream. It should be somebody who's be good for a blue-collar job in a cafe or a restaurant or something like that. Wipe the subject's chip clean, save for the basics. We need to build a custom identity from the ground up. Give me a day to clear the paperwork where central control won't take more than 5 minutes to clear the persona fix for whatever slob I pull. Are you looking for any cyberware in particular? If so, that might complicate things. Most of our subjects have been pre-assigned suites installed for testing purposes. As long as the subject has relatively unobtrusive implants, it should be fine. No visible combat augmentations or obvious cyberware. Nothing like that. Use your best judgment. I have to work a few things out with Tang and pathology, so you can take your time on this. There's no rush. Oh, Tang, we talked to her earlier. Good to know. I think I have one that'll work. Number 91. Human male, late 20s. Average height. His only obvious implants are a data jack and an ordinary cyber leg. Pre-existing too, so it's not one of our upgraded models. I'll have him prepped. Alright, second message. Resources. Project Silver Dream asset counting and disposition. 41 subjects, active, 29 field subjects, and inactive and killed 416. Well, they've been doing this for a while. Acquisition. Subjects have been acquired from across Hong Kong Free Enterprise Zone. Primary locations are Aberdeen, Hua Yat Chen, Kwantong, and Kowloon City. Within the recent loss of the walled city, Kowloon has become a less attractive location for subject acquisitions. Future possibilities include expansion to Shenzhen, Indonesia, and Shanghai. To date, approximately 71% of chosen subjects have been sinless, 23% possess a criminal sin, and 6% possessed a standard sin. Given these numbers, it's unsurprising there's been no official investigation of the subject's whereabouts. Yeah, who cares about the sinless? Same with homeless people. However, Project Silver Dream personnel must take care not to draw attention to the project by recruiting too heavily from the same neighborhood. Otherwise, people get suspicious, and then they won't do anything even more. Medical closet access. Anybody know the door code for the medical closet in Delta 2-5? One of the handlers got his finger smashed in the door, and he lost a lot of blood before the tram could get him back to Gamma 4. Speaking of which, does it seem kind of stupid? Anyone else that we lock up the medical closet? What gives? Gee, let me think. There isn't a lot to do down here. We got a lot of mind-altering substances in medical closets. Why do you suppose that we keep the closet locked? While you're pondering that, the code is 8236. Get what you need to fix your handler's boo-boo. But if anything goes missing, you can expect Commander Gara to come knocking. Boo-boo, huh? Reminds me of Yogi Bear, if anyone remembers that stuff. Alright, anyway, let's head on to the next location. This area might take more than one episode to do, just to give you a heads up. Mainly because there is quite a bit of combat in this one, which is fine. You know, it's nice to have combat heavy episodes, because I've been doing so much to, like, reduce my combat in a lot of these. Uh-oh, I wonder if there'll be combat here at one point. Nah, probably not. Ooh, there's the weapons lab. Let's go inside and see. Alright, I think this was the 4077, was it? Yep. That what we got from previously. Alright, what do we got in here? Oh, okay, we got some Voltiac grenades, which is the one that damages over time. We'll take that. I'll give it to... hold on, let me back up a bit. Let me manage it and give it to Duncan. Although we might not use it just because of the whole grenades, you know, not everyone has magnetic arms for the most part. And finally, we get a weapon. We get the Nemesis Arms Gyrojet Pistol, which is pretty good. If you can give it to Isabel or maybe Gobbet, although I think Gobbet doesn't have the ranged combat to do it or something like that. This is actually a pretty decent pistol because it fires like mini rockets. So it's one of those pistols that's good at medium range. Close range, it's not as accurate, but we'll take that. I don't think anyone can use it right now anyway. I think Duncan could use it right now, but I'd rather use it as a assault rifle, but we'll have it equipped on it anyway, so why not have some options just in case he runs out of bullets. Alright, let's head down in here. What the? Looks like test subjects. Row upon row of man-sized pods line the wall of this room. Each pod contains a single occupant, men and women, bound by restraints, all of them apparently asleep. The people in these pods seem almost peaceful in their slumber. They occasionally twitch and sway, but otherwise they remain motionless. You lean in to get a closer look. The sleeper outside has the weathered, craggy features that you've come to associate with street-level living, but he's wearing a surprising amount of chrome for a homeless man. Ugly welts and bruises model his skin, and a handful of fresh wounds paint his torso. The incisions on his torso are surprisingly neat and clean. A recent surgery, perhaps. Upon closer inspection, you see a slim braided cable that stretches from wall to the sleeping man's data jack. The other end of the cable has been hooked to the nondescript Shiwa's device that has been integrated into the pod. Glancing down the line of pods, you can see that all of the sleepers are connected to their pods in a similar fashion. Gobbet's hand shoots up to her mouth. She looks like she might be sick.
Well, that's disgusting. These poor people. This isn't science, it's a damn meta-human testing facility.
Isabel motions towards the Shiwa's device in one of the rooms.
Wiggles, take a look at that. Each pod has one. My guess is that they eject into the Matrix and are being forced to sleep, like a dream world that shuts down their higher brain functions.
What a nightmare. Yeah, these people are freaks. Alright, so, this, unfortunately, I can't set myself up to prepare because there's no obvious enemies, but there is an encounter up ahead. I wonder if I do it right, I might be able to hit that ley line if I move there. Nope. Okay. Didn't think I'd get there fast enough. Because, yeah, as soon as you get past that archway, the combat begins. Something clanks nearby. The sound reverberates in the still air, stretching and lengthening into a persistent hum. It sounds a bit like the ambient drone of an air circulation system, but as you listen, it grows louder. It gradually dawns on you that the noise isn't coming from the walls, but from the pods that protrude from them. Duncan takes a step back. His hand instinctively reaches for the weapons at his side. What the hell is that? There's another loud clank, and you catch a hint of motion in the pod nearest to you. The pod's occupant, a battered troll riddled with chrome, and shifts uneasily against his restraints. As you watch, those restraints disconnect. The troll's eyes slide open, and his face twists into a hateful snarl. They got him brainwashed or something. Look into his eyes, Wiggles. There's nothing going on in there. A monitor near you flickers to life. A nervous-looking Dr. Tang addresses you, eyes darting frantically around the room.
I can't allow you progress any further. Shiwas has invested millions of yen into the research in this lab. I can't let you threaten it. If you try to get any closer, I'm going to have to stop you.
I've seen what you're doing to these people, Doc. I'm going to put a stop to your research permanently.
I can't let you do that. I can't.
She looks at the right, just off screen, and makes a slicing gesture with the right hand. She hisses at somebody off screen.
I gave you the signal. Open the pods, damn it. Wait the damn things.
The troll peers at you through red, vacant eyes. The door of his pod slides open, and like a chain reaction, several other pods follow suit. This is an explosion of motion for the pods, and the subjects contained within charge at you like a pack of rabid beasts. Alright, we got a forced fight here. Yeah, this is like one of the few chapters where there's like, basically the encounters are all required. There's no avoiding any of them as far as I'm aware of, so. There's ways you can help yourself in a fight, though. Did he just stand on the ley line? Man, jerk. Oh, okay, good. Okay, so luckily they all bunch up together, but unfortunately we do have to move everyone. And unfortunately I put myself in the line of fire for this one guy here. So, let's see. And luckily none of these guys have a... let's see. I'm trying to think of a good spot I can move without losing line of sight. Okay, that'll be good. We want to move everyone out of the way so I can just basically blast the crap out of them. Duncan. Yeah, we'll just move you. We'll just move you out of the way. I actually could grenade them if I want to as well. Gobbit. Yeah, I guess I'll move you here. And then cast haste on me. So I'll have to waste a turn going into the this thing. Isabel, let's have you grenade the crap out of these guys. Dodged, huh? Wow, that's surprising. Now that's fine because there's a mechanic where they can dodge attacks. That's fine, but yeah, if you miss, if it said missed and it was 90%, I would have been rather annoyed. Okay, did quite a bit of damage. That guy didn't get as much damage. Well, I could use that new grenade I got. Why not? Because I'm not going to be able to utilize this for the most part. So. Okay, that puts them out. And then we've got this guy here. See, since we're here with you, could try to beanbag you maybe. 92% missed? Are you serious? Wow. Okay, well at least we knocked him out. That still pisses me off though. I don't care what you say, folks. 99%! What is going on here? This is so dumb. Wow. Okay. I don't care if I'm winning, folks. That's not the point of this. The point is I'm mad that I miss at 99 percentiles. Really? Line of sight blocked? Okay, whatever. Let's see. Let's hit you with a... Nice. And then let's hit you with a couple of blasts. I guess I can't hit you from there, so I'll just leave that up to Duncan and Gobbit. Interesting. All right. Now, I said this fight isn't hard. It's just, you know, I'm annoyed when obvious to hits miss. But anyway, that was easy. I mean, they don't have any armor or anything, so yeah. You turn to see Dr. Tang watching the scene from the telecom. Her face visibly pales as the final test subject falls to the floor. She sputters, barely able to form a coherent sentence. I can't. All of them? She stares bug-eyed into the camera, her pupils flitting back and forth as she takes in the carnage of the screen. But they were supposed to be killing machines. They're cyberwares top of the line. Oh, did I break your toys? They weren't toys, damn it. They were invaluable research subjects, the end result of years of research. I know that doesn't mean anything to you, but they were worth more than you can imagine to the science that we were doing here. Use that as an excuse, lady. All that time, all that work flushed down the drain for nothing. I sacrificed those subjects to stop you. You know why? Because you can't be down here. I'm not kidding. You have to turn back the way you came. Look, you have no idea what we're doing down here. How dangerous this place is. Her voice is level, but you can hear the undercurrent of desperation there. You even being here is a huge breach of every lab safety protocol in the books, but you can still turn back. Let's see. The deaths of those test subjects is on you, not me, but if you do what I say, there doesn't have to be any more bloodshed. Duncan nods. You heard the man. We're up to this in our armpits already, and we've got no intention of turning back now. All that you're doing now is pissing me off. Look, you just don't get it. I work at BSL-4 Hot Lab. That means I'm surrounded by aerosol, lethal, highly infectious pathogens. Her voice comes out in a tight rasp. Literally anything that you find in here could kill you horribly. Hell, half of the stuff in here could cause a global pandemic if it were to escape quarantine. This is more important than your damn job. She takes a deep breath, then releases it into the mic. Look, I don't expect you to listen to me, but I'm going to say it one last time. It'd be in everyone's best interest for you to turn back, especially yours. She cuts the transmission and her face winks out across the various trids across the room. Trying to make yourself the good guy here. I don't think so, lady. Ain't gonna work. So let's continue on inside. Yeah, you can't stop us, lady. We're here for a job, and I want to get paid. The big mo money, mo money, mo money. But anyway, let's head to the trap and then the next section. All right. Yeah, what are you gonna do, lady? We're 4 heavily armed people. You can't stop us. Ooh, nice little detail there. Anyway, let's check the terminal. The door is sealed tight. An access panel beside it flashes red. Laboratory Gamma 4 quarantine security lockdown engaged. Access level Omega 4 required for entry. Locked. Shouldn't be a problem though. Try the key card that you picked up, Wiggles. If I remember correctly, it should have the appropriate credentials. Swipe the key card. You lift the card to the slot, but before you can slide it through, the figure of the frightened woman erupts onto the scanner screen. Dr. Janet Tang. I told you before, you can't come in here. Her breaths come in light. Panic gasps. She's doing her best to stay calm, but she's clearly terrified. I don't like repeating myself, so please, listen, please. This lab is restricted for a reason. Besides the obvious fact that it's full of deadly contagions, it also contains highly sensitive and very expensive equipment that only trained scientists can handle. You barge in here and mishandle a single vial, and you'll in all likelihood infect yourself with whatever's inside. That would be a disaster. I mean that quite literally. You worried I'll break your little toys? I'm surprised they let you repeat that a couple times. The doctor's face is painted with terror. No, I'm worried they'll kill us and release a global pandemic. I'm willing to bet that we can walk into the lab safely. Wiggles, I saw a lot of corporate labs in my time with Lone Star. They've all got layers of recursive safety systems to prevent what Tang's afraid of from happening. She's just trying to scare us. And it's settled. Coming through. Alright, let's see what we got in here. Ooh, game saved. I wonder if something's going to happen. Let's see, let's open this door. I want it to be open for a very important purpose. Later on, you'll know why in a second. There's the good doctor. Ooh, that must be this must be our location. Can I open the door before the dialogue sets in? Yay! Alright, now I don't have to waste a turn opening the door. No reason, folks. Dr. Janet Tang stands firm. Given the situation, she looks remarkably well composed. She waits calmly as you approach, her shoulders held rigid and her arms across her chest. Her 2 associates shuffle awkwardly behind her, their hands shaking. They both look terrified. I told you not to come in. You shouldn't be in here. Her tone is firm, but there's a slight tremor in her voice. Listen to me, you made a horrible mistake. One wrong move and you'll raise God knows what in the room. You're beginning to sound like a broken record, Doc. Tang raises her hands in a calming gesture. Just hear me out. We all want to walk out of here alive. I think that much is obvious. There's no going back now, so my associates and I are willing to cooperate with you to move things on faster. So this is me cooperating. You tell me what you want and I'll give it to you. No more arguments. Yeah. Right now I can't help but wonder why you devote your life to creating biological weapons. Because Namazu isn't just a weapons factory, far from it. In fact, my lab has spent the lion's share of its time creating treatments for lethal and degenerative diseases. Only 10% of our resources are spent on destructive pathogens. The vast majority of what we do here is benign in nature. We're curing people, not killing them. Except for all the other stuff that's going on. Yeah, like it's like what happened in World War II with the Nazis and the Jewish people. Like 3 million people lost their lives, obviously plus more. That's just a relative example. But the thing that happened, one of the messed up things behind the scenes, was that they were doing a lot of experiments on these people, and it weirdly, the messed up thing is that, well, other than the experiments, is that it jumped up medical technology by like 100 years because of all the stuff they did to them. So would you have rather have this technology jump, or would you not have had 3 million people die at experimentation, screwed up stuff like that? I personally would have rather have us gotten that technology eventually. But yeah, it's messed up when you read like what was learned via that. It's yeah, it's kind of disturbing. So, but yeah, it's happened multiple times in history. So people always use it as an excuse. Then you must have cures. Let's see. Yeah, tell me about your super disease. Convince me it's worth leaving you alive. The doctor blinks at you. Your voice goes cold. You're talking about pathogen GT009, SARS-3? That's the one. Tell me about it. Oh, yeah, remember SARS was... Well, SARS is still a thing, actually. But anyway, also there was a scare back in the 90s, too, about SARS, if I remember correctly. But anyway. I can't. I'm sorry. But all information on GT0... She cuts herself off. I mean, SARS-3 is classified, and for good reason. It's one of the worst things we've ever produced in this lab. We can't let you... Her eyes fly open. You're not here to take GT009, are you? Please tell me that isn't what you're here to do. I told you to tell me about the disease. Are you going to do it, or do I force you to? She glances at her associates, both cowering behind her and shaking violently. You hear one of them murmuring something in a language unknown to you. From the cadence of the words, you guess that it's a prayer. She exhales slowly through a rebreather. All right, I'll tell you everything I know. SARS-3 is a Category 4 lethal pathogen. It's 99.98% fatal, excruciatingly painful, and it kills within a meter of weeks. As of right now, the only cure is a prototype antibody treatment. We're still working on fine-tuning it. In case you haven't been paying attention, I'm due to say this one more time. SARS-3 is terrible. It's easily the cruelest, most infectious, most lethal thing to ever come out of this lab. It cannot be allowed into the wild. Oh, really? I want to know more about how SARS-3 kills. The disease works by replicating the identifying features of white blood cells. It tricks the immune system into ignoring it, and then it self-replicates at an exponential rate. During this early phase, while it's colonizing the body, a patient doesn't experience any overt symptoms, just a mild temperature and an elevated white cell count. That's it. She pauses. Are you sure you want me to go on? It's pretty gruesome. Keep it coming. Alright, okay, here we go. Once the virus has thoroughly colonized the host, it begins a devastating attack on the body. It rapidly infects epithelial cells, inserting its own RNA at a tremendous rate that the cell membranes rupture, spewing cytoplasm and virions into surrounding cells. By the time the attack has begun, the damage dealt is almost immediately irreversible. What kind of damage are we talking about? What does this thing actually do to people? The virus induces a hypersensitive sensitivity reaction in its host, lungs fill up with mucus and sputum, leading to hypatia. Victims drown in their own fluids. We spent a long time developing GT009, the secret hybridizing the standard SARS coronavirus with the third strain of virality-induced toxic allergen syndrome, Vitus 3. Man, to think about this word now. We all didn't know about it until recently, and then it never will leave the conscience ever again. Well, at least until so many years pass. Sounds terrible, but I guess it's probably effective. Yeah, well, you don't want to be. I don't want to be an "I told you so," but she shrugs. It's a bioweapon. They don't have much deterrent value if they aren't horrible. She sighs. Her eyelids heavy. Kind of reminds me of mustard gas during World War I. It basically said people's like, "Hey, let's not use bioweapons like that again because I think it's horrible." So even though people still do it in isolated areas, but major armies don't do it anymore. Well, at least they shouldn't anyway. She sighs. Her eyelids heavy. Anyway, there you have it. SARS-3, my baby. I'm not exactly proud of having made it. Tell me about the cure. How do we fix somebody who's been exposed? We've developed a strain of monoclonal antibodies in tandem with the disease. It isn't perfect, but it works. That's the only cure. I was attacked by a test subject of yours on my way here. Care to tell me anything about that? Ah. Tang's eyes scan the ground at her feet. I suppose there's no withholding information at this point, is there? You know what will happen if you withhold nope. Either way gets you the same result. You can see the doc's cheeks pull downward as she frowns beneath her mask. She nods her head down somberly. The two researchers behind the door mimic her gesture, their heads bobbing up and down like a couple of pigeons. They're part of the study called Project Silver Dream. Each subject has been implanted with a prototype BTL chip. The goal of the program is to create a perfect switch for sleeper agents and spies, one that can remain undetected by current scanning and identification technology. As of right now, the project is still in early testing. Our subjects are more often used as test beds for new cyberware, while the Silver Dream BTL chip is being refined, a necessary adaptation, considering that our field experiments have only achieved partial success thus far. Unfortunately, we haven't always been able to maintain complete control over the test subjects. The Silver Dream team is still working on that. You run in with the test subjects wasn't an accident. I'm sure that you'd figured that out already. It was a hasty decision on my end. You already know what I did. They were the only thing standing between you and my lab, and I was trying to avoid a containment breach. I stand by the decision for what it's worth. I guess you gotta give her credit for saying to her scruples, I guess. But, she did try to kill me. These test subjects of yours, is there any way to disconnect them from whatever you're feeding into their heads? The program runs on a delicate framework. Casual tinkering with the system could be dangerous, not just for our machines, but for the subjects as well. If you really want to disconnect the test subjects, there's a particular order that you need to do it. At first, you need to disconnect the matrix interlocks. Then you need to initiate a supervised override of the Simpsons feeds. Trying to do anything with the subjects without observing the proper procedures would be disastrous. If I were to trap myself without help in the proper positions, I'd probably flub it. That would in turn trigger the station's matrix defenses, which would only make a bad situation worse. If you want to do anything with those test subjects, knock yourself out, but don't expect me to help. I know when I'm over my head. And what about this facility? Can you really keep your project safely inside? I want details. Well, nothing's ever completely foolproof, but any project as sensitive as ours requires a lot of very careful controls and strict adherence to procedure. She was very strict about safety, for obvious reasons. She begins ticking off items on her fingers. Reducing a number of potential exposures is
is way that we prepared for our outbreak scenario. We've run on a skeleton crew, maybe 200 workers at most. As you can imagine, living down here for long periods can be difficult, and people rarely acclimate enough to last more than a couple months. To prevent our projects from suffering, Shiwas recycles its employees out every 14 weeks. There are no break days while working the underwater cycle, but we're greatly compensated during our off months. Still, people find a way to get bored, so we try not to keep anyone on staff that we don't need. Most of our security and menial labor is handled by drones. We still have a few flesh and blood security personnel. I think that Commander Garra has been down here longer than anybody. But mostly it's all drones for the blue-collar work. The doctor gives you a sidelong look. It can't be why you broke into my lab. I guess I can understand how you might be curious about an underwater laboratory, but I don't know all that much, really. Only what I've been told. Can any of the Silver Dream test subjects have been infected with SARS-3? No way. There isn't a researcher on the station that would do such a thing. She stops as if stricken by the thought. Wait, Dr. Nagai came to me a couple months ago asking for a SARS-3 sample. I didn't think it was unusual at the time. All of us, Game 4, need the occasional sample for further studies, but...
But what?
As far as I know, I've never received this report on the sample. The sample itself was never returned either. The way that our system works, it's impossible to take our return samples without our computers logging the transaction, which means either he still has it or he used it somehow.
Yeah, we know on our client.
The last of the color drains from Tang's face. His numbers were slipping too. We were contacted by a board not long ago. He requested that sample, but I can't imagine he'd be desperate enough to use it at such a risky and uncontrolled environment on such a valuable subject. I have to concede that's a possibility, though.
You know, those test subjects looked a little pale, maybe even sick. Do you think? The doctor instinctively raises her hands to cover her mouth and nose.
You can't be serious. If they were infected, then...
Her eyes dart back and forth as she runs through the variables in her head.
No, you should be fine. It takes more exposure than shared space. If you had prolonged exposure, maybe, but no, the risk is 1 in a million. You're fine.
Yeah, we'll see about that. I've heard enough. Now there's just the matter of what to do with you and your team. She raises her arms, palms toward you. She's sweating.
Wait, just wait. Before you do anything, please listen. We aren't bad people. We're scientists who were assigned a dreadful task, who did what they had to do to keep their jobs. That kind of thing happens to everybody. I bet that's even happened to you once or twice. Please don't hold out our professionalism against us. Let us go and maybe we can do some good out there. We'll find a different corporation to work for and better projects to pursue.
Don't kill us. Except for the lady, how she feels about this whole working on the subjects and everything like that. Yeah, sure. But anyway, if you attack her, obviously you kill her. They're really easy because they're scientists. However, if you leave her alive, you can get an extra reward later if you leave her alive. So it's up to you, really. It's not that much money, but I'm going to do it anyway just to show that off. So I'm not like you, Doc. I don't kill unless I have to, and I don't make excuses for myself when I do. Now take your men and get out of here. Janet's head jolts up in surprise. Her associates look at each other as if they expected you to change your mind or maybe convince your words are a trick. She takes a step forward. Her voice stutters.
I don't know what to say. I didn't think you'd... Thank you for sparing us. I won't forget this.
It's better not bite me in the butt. Alright. Duncan grunts as Tang and her researchers pass through the door. Not much else we could have gotten from them anyway. Anyone else want to get the hell out of here? With the sterilization countdown running, the Silver Dream thugs on our heels, and whatever horrible diseases might be floating around, the sub is sounding awfully nice about now.
I'd like nothing more than to book you back to the lab bay, but we got a job to finish. We're in the germ lab, right? So the SARS-3 cure should be in here somewhere.
The flashing light on a nearby console catches your eye. With a sad click, the handful of monitors mounted around the lab display an unfamiliar face. Attention all staff. This is Commander Garra. I've ordered a red-level security lockdown due to a facility intrusion. All personnel should drop whatever they're doing and report to the safe rooms in Sector 9 immediately. The security breach has triggered an automated sterilization sweep. In 30 minutes' time, a squadron of drones will deoxygenate the premises to prevent the escape of any loose pathogens. If you haven't reported to Sector 9 by that time, you're done. You will not survive the sweep. A siren blares over the intercoms as the lab's monitors replace Commander Garra's hard features with a countdown timer. Moments later, computer-generated voice activates.
Matrix systems white initiated. Sterilization system on standby. All personnel report to Sector 9.
Kinda long-winded, but I think I get it. We stay, we die, so let's not do that. We ready? The Namazu sector commanders will probably have localized overriding the trams. We need to eliminate them to escape.
But what about all those test subjects? They didn't choose this fate. Shiwas made that decision for them. So should we lock them up or set them free? Your call, Wiggles.
Well, if we want to do anything about it, we'll have to do it fast. Once that Matrix lockout countdown is complete, every computer and data line in this lab will get shut down. Uh-oh. Looks like a bunch of objectives. Looks like a bunch of doors are opening. A bunch of people are coming in. Only 5 rounds? Uh-oh. How many people are here? Oh, that's not that many. A couple drones? Okay, we can handle that just fine. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Uh-oh. What will we do? Will we be able to beat these guys and escape from here? Can we release as test subjects and lock them to their previous fate? Have we been affected by SARS? Is it 2019 all over again? Well, or not 2019. Yeah, 2019 all over again, or something like that. Whatever. Anyway, find out next time in the next episode of Shadowrun Hong Kong. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time.